You're listening to iFan Sports Talk Radio. And now, live from Studio 215 in Low Country, South Carolina. Welcome to the Live in 5 show with your host, Nikki Fu.
Welcome everybody, this is the Live in 5 show, milestone episode 30, where we will talk about Leveon Bell and sort of add into this podcast. I am going to go over the 5 top free agent departures for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It looks 100% now that Leveon Bell will play out his franchise tag with the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2018, and he will leave via free agency. We'll also talk about who are the contenders for his services in 2019, and also do the Steelers maybe just rescind the tag right before he reports. Reports are out there that he will not report until week 1 against Cleveland after their final preseason game against Carolina. And I think their final practice will be that Monday after that final Thursday preseason game. And that's when he's due to report. Rumors out there that the Steelers might just cut him and maybe sign a veteran back to back up James Conner and Jalen Samuels. Reports out there that is Adrian Peterson. Even maybe DeMarco Murray may come out of retirement in a backup role too. The Steelers also have Stephen Ridley signed for the 2018 season. So there is some depth in there. Of course, it does not replace Leveon Bell. He turned down a 5-year, $70 million contract with $33 million of that guaranteed. He is looking anywhere in the range of $17 million a year. Who will pay him that money? There are some teams that are out there right now that will have plenty of cap space for 2019. I'll just give you my top 4 right now. Of course, the Cleveland Browns right now, always looking for a decent running back, have $66 million in cap space. The Indianapolis Colts have 51. The 49ers have 35. And the Tennessee Titans have 33. Other contenders I see for him and his services for 2019 would be Buffalo, Oakland, Denver, maybe even Philly, Chicago, Detroit. Carolina has also been rumored for his services too. They have always been looking for a good complement with Cam Newton. Even though they have Christian McCaffrey, I don't think they're sold on him. So he could be a fit in Carolina too. Yeah, but my thoughts are that Leveon Bell, I really think the Steelers are going to probably just take back the tag, rescind the tag, and say part their ways with him, especially if he skips all of camp. And tell me your thoughts. Go to our Twitter page, message me on Twitter by searching us at iFanTalk. Tell us your thoughts on where do you think he's going. What should the Steelers do with him in 2018 if he does play underneath the franchise tag? Or where do you think he will go? Do you think the Steelers are right in this, or do you think the Leveon Bell camp is right? I mean, my personal thought is he was offered a lot of money, and I think he's playing in a recent history that the shelf life of a running back is not too long. So he wants that guaranteed money before his career starts declining. I think the Steelers know that too. They're using him for all he's got. The Steelers can definitely probably will use him and maybe run him maybe 400 carries this year. We don't know. So, yes, please, message us on Twitter at iFanTalk. You can also message us on our Facebook page by just typing in hashtag iFanTalk. This episode will also be available on our YouTube channel, also on the iTunes Store and iHeartRadio. So, with that said, we are going to look and go. I have my top 5 Steeler free agent departures in the history of free agency since the free agency started back in the mid-'80s. So we'll start out with number 5 here. And my number 5 one is the first ever main big name to leave the Steelers in free agency, and that was Hardy Nickerson, who went to Tampa Bay. He spent 6 seasons with the Steelers while recording 112 tackles in 1992, his final season with the Steelers. And then he signed with the Buccaneers in 93, earning Pro Bowl honors. And after recording 214 sacks that first year, he earned 4 consecutive Pro Bowl honors from 1996 to 1999 before retiring in the 2002 season. So he had a decent career after he left the Steelers. So Hardy Nickerson at number 5. Number 4, Carnell Lake, the old defensive backs coach for the Steelers. He's no longer the defensive backs coach. Tom Bradley now has that distinguished honor to get that Steelers secondary fixed. Carnell Lake signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars after his playing days with the Steelers, where he played in all 16 games with the Jags, recording 50 tackles and 3.5 sacks his first year. He missed his entire second year with the Jags with a foot injury, and then he joined the Ravens in 2001, where he only started in 1 game with the Ravens, but played in 15, where he recorded 29 tackles, and he later retired after that season. So as you can see, man, these shelf lives for these players are not too long after they, play out their first contract. Number 3, Yancey Thigpen. Pittsburgh's greatest receiver during the 90s, without a doubt. He earned Pro Bowl honors in 1995 and 1997 while helping the Steelers win 4 AFC division titles. His best season was in 1997, and where he recorded 1,398 yards. He signed with Tennessee as a free agent that offseason, helping the Titans advance to Super Bowl 34 in 1999, and he retired in the following season. Fast fact for you on Yancey Thigpen, in the 3 seasons he played with the Titans, he only managed to gain 430 yards receiving in 31 games. He had 1,398 yards receiving in 1997 alone with the Steelers. So really a big bust, I think, right there for the Titans. And I thought, his better playing days were the Steelers. He went for the money and didn't really produce. Number 2, Rod Woodson. Yeah, he wanted a long-term deal entering the 1997 season. The Steelers only offered him a 3-year, $3 million deal. He rejected that offer, and just like that, his career with the Steelers was over. The Steelers really saw that, he was declining in play and did not want to fork out all that money. He ended up signing with San Francisco, where he didn't really do much. He had 1 year with San Francisco and played 4 with Baltimore, where he did get a Super Bowl title in 2000, and he ended his career with 2 years in Oakland. With Baltimore, he did have 20 interceptions over 4 years, so he did have a pretty decent career with the Ravens after he left San Francisco. So that was number 2, Rod Woodson. And number 1, free agent departure, and a lot of Steeler fans still can't stand this guy. And I'm not putting him number 1 as I thought he was the most valuable player that ever left the Steelers, but I think it was the most notable player that ever left the Steelers, and that was Neil O'Donnell. Neil left the Steelers after his Larry Brown debacle in Super Bowl 30, where he threw Larry Brown 2 perfect interceptions, and he signed that huge deal with the Jets and only lasted 2 seasons, with New York compiling a 8-win and 12 record. He spent 1998 with the Bengals, going 2-9, passing for 2,200 yards, but he did have 15 TDs and 4 interceptions. So, and then he finished his career. He didn't have a bad career. He finished his career as a backup in Tennessee, and where he went 6-2. And he, I think it was 5 years in Tennessee. He went 6-2 as a starter, throwing for 2,600 yards, 16 TDs, and 11 touchdowns. So those are my top 5 free agent departures for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think, if we do this list again next year, Leveon Bell will definitely be number 1 on this list as we all see him departing. I say, bye-bye, Leveon. You are offered a lot of money by a great organization. He might just take the cash and go to somebody like Cleveland next year or Indy. My pick is Tennessee, which wouldn't be a bad pick for him because they do have a nice offensive line in Tennessee. So that is my episode. I want to thank you all for joining me. This is your host, Nikki Fu. This is Live in 5 Show, episode 30. Like I said again, you can find us all over the web, especially at our main page, at our Twitter page, at iFanTalk. This episode will also be posted on our Facebook page by just searching hashtag iFanTalk. Episodes are both posted on our iTunes Store and iHeartRadio. So I thank you all again, folks, and I will see you folks all down the road.
Every time I look at you, you always look so beautiful. Driving on the road again, the Chevy's packed, it is dust. And I will take some photographs so I can dream of you. Oh, can't say I felt such twisting in my heart this way. We pitch a tent and have one sleeping by, just stay away. A fire's burning, softly singing songs so close.